In order to foster a spirit of community development, the Women's University in Africa this year honors 3 leaders who have made an immense contribution to community development, the nation, and the arts. The first recipient is Mrs. Betty Mutero. Born on the 15th of May 1932, Mrs. Betty Flora Mutero, a social worker and adult educationist by profession, made a mark in community development through a number of projects.
Well, I think my mother she loves people. So I think community development and working with, especially with women and children, has always been her passion. And she has an amazing talent because she can cut across all divides in terms of the young and the old, the black and the white, the educated and the non-educated.
Mrs. Mutero was involved in the establishment of different women's clubs and preschools in the remote areas of Zimbabwe, and was also involved in adult literacy advocacy. She served on the advisory boards of Mpilo Hospital, Masvingo Hospital, and the Harare Hospital Welfare Board. Amai Mutero was also chairperson of Mbuyane Children's Home for street kids and vulnerable children.
At the moment, she's involved with the Mbuyane Children's Home orphanage, which is located in WUA, and she's very active in that at the moment. And she just loves to give, loves working with the less privileged people.
By virtue of being a communicator and community services person, she naturally became a politician in her own right. Very patriotic in terms of her country, loves her country and loves her people. As my sister said, currently she's in London as chairman of the Population Services International in Zimbabwe. I mean, that gives you an idea really of the caliber of a person that she is. At 76, she's been flown to London for a board meeting at that age.
Mrs. Mutero also served as chairperson of the Zimbabwe Population Services, which funded the Gweru, Kwekwe, Mbare, and Chinoi family planning clinics, among others. According to family members, Mrs. Mutero's passion also lies with children, and this has seen her being treasurer of the Child Survival Development Foundation, Harare Province chapter, and an executive member of Shamwari Dzevanave Zimbabwe, which assisted disadvantaged children in the payment of school fees.
I remember when we were still growing up and we were living in Bulawayo, she used to actually adopt children, and we had once a month we'd have 2 children at home, and then they'd stay with us for some months, and then another couple of months somebody else comes, homeless children live with us in our family. So she's somebody who, even as a mother, she is really somebody who loves children and loves people.
For us to fit into her shoes, it's a tall order, it's a task. And personally, as the eldest, I'm always, at times, slightly under pressure.
I'm just overwhelmed, and the African Women's University wanted to thank them for giving her this honor, and just to say to the institution that you just could not have chosen a more deserving candidate for this. She really deserves it. She really deserves it more than anything. And after all these years to have this recognition through an educational institution like African University, when she herself has been all her life been educating others, is just such an honor. Thank you so much.
For her contribution to the different communities, Betty Flora Mutero has been honored with a master's degree in community development by the Women's University in Africa.
Ms. Mutero is not here today. Her children receiving her degree on her behalf.
Ndichifunga zvangu, ndiani wakandichengeta ndichiri muduku, ndiamai vangu chete, rudo rwavo rwakakoma pamwe chete nababa makorokoto.
Our next recipient is Mrs. Kiki Divaris. A member of the Girl Fund Hellenic Association Foundation and its president for 47 years, Kiki Divaris founded a number of trusts, which include the Harare Mayor's Christmas Cheer Fund and the Cancer Association, and was also instrumental in the founding of the Sally Mugabe Foundation. She was also founder and executive chairperson of the Child Survival and Development Foundation. Kiki was also responsible for the setting up of the Glenview Ishe Anesu project for children living with disabilities.
It's a great honor because it's an honorary degree, and for me it's a great honor. And coming from women, I think it's even a greater honor to be respected by your own kind.
She is also the patron and founder of the Miss Zimbabwe Trust, a pageantry used for charity, and has to date contributed to Chinyaradzo, Mashamba Nzou, and St. Giles, among other charity organizations. While the plight of children touched her heart, Kiki contributed a lot to the emancipation of women in Zimbabwe by being patron and treasurer of the Mighty Warriors in their first COSAFA tournament. She was also a member of the fundraising committee for the Dakar, Senegal preparatory meeting for the Beijing conference.
I was brought up in a home where charity was a very important thing. Home was the institution, family, the family, and I'm from Greek parents, and don't forget I'm 85 years old, and things are starting to change all over the world, but I think that part of me, I hope, that part of the world should not change, the family, the community, and the country keep people together. And I think it's so important that people don't lose that. And although I left Greece, my father kept in touch with his family and was interested in his family, and he was interested in his own family. Greeks are very family-orientated people, like the Zimbabweans. So I was brought up that family and community and charity were part of life. And whatever you had, you shared. And if your parents had a little bit extra, they would help the brother and that. A little bit old-fashioned for today, but I think it's really good.
Born on the 13th of September 1925 in Greece, Kiki Divaris received the highest honor from the Pope Patriarch in Alexandria, Egypt, for her charity work and contribution to society. The honor is given to someone who has been selfless in giving.
Well, there's always something in my life that I'm working on. Thank God, because that keeps me alive. But, you asked me why I went into it. I was always into it, but when my husband got ill and he had polio, we were in Cape Town. He was a leading heart man at Hoodskill, and all of a sudden he had polio. And, it meant so much to me. I was 26. And I saw people getting divorced from all these illnesses and that, and I actually made a prayer and I said, God, I bargained with him. I said, if he lives, I promise you that I will do something for somebody every day of my life. It's been quite easy, It's been quite easy to do that. Even saying a good word is doing something good. There's so much to be done. There's more work to be done now than I had when I was a young. I have no time to relax, thank God. So if I have no time to relax, I it's when you're sitting and having nothing to do that you start getting depressed, that you start thinking of your own problems and not thinking of others. If you see the suffering other people have, you thank God for what you have been blessed with.
She is married to Anthony Devaris, a physician, and the couple has 2 sons, 2 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild.
When I was given an honorary degree, I was made a Dame in the Greek Orthodox Church. She was a little girl and she was coming up for the weekend and she just arrived. My granddaughter now was coming up to see me yesterday, and then they phoned me that they're going to give me this honorary degree, so wasn't it a surprise for her? You know, it happened. I was really thrilled about that. I'm really scared of all these honorary degrees, do you know that? Why? Because when you are singled out too much, then you're not part of everybody. And I've always wanted to be part of everybody. I don't want to be singled out, I want to be one with everybody.
Kiki has been honored by the Women's University with a Master's in Community Development degree.
The university wishes to honor Kiki Devaris with the MSc in Community Development.
Although the Women's University in Africa's focus is on the empowerment of women, men are, however, not left out, as music icon and superstar Oliver Mtukudzi, our next candidate, has also been honored for his contributions. Honored with a master's degree in fine arts for his contribution to the arts, especially the local music industry, Oliver Mtukudzi, popularly known as Tuku by his multitude of fans, is indeed a force to reckon with. Mtukudzi, whose musical career spans over 30 years, is a social commentator, prolific songwriter, producer, arranger, and formidable singer. Born on the 22nd of September 1952, Oliver Mtukudzi learned the importance of social and economic responsibility early in life as the oldest of 7 children. Besides using music for social commentary, Mtukudzi has also had a stint in film featuring in Neria, which dealt with the complex issue of women's rights in a chauvinist culture, where he played a leading role.
I'm here to find or discover what I want to be in life, which translates that I think I was born for it, because there was never a day I decided to do it. I just found myself doing it. And I enjoy doing it to my best ability. Of course, the inspiration comes from the people, the way we live, everyday living, and the way I understand the purpose of being an artist.
Oliver Mtukudzi has written and directed songs on the plight of children and women, and his music has been used in a lot of documentaries to do with inheritance and HIV and AIDS issues worldwide. Mtukudzi has also won the following awards: Kura Award for Best Arrangement in 2002 for the video Ndakuara, Nama in 2002 and 2004 for Best Group Male Vocalist, Zima Award in 2006, and an honorary degree by the University of Zimbabwe in 2003. Mtukudzi, the best-selling artist of all time in Zimbabwe, has also established Pakare Paye Arts Center in Norton to nurture and record young talent and the underprivileged.
Pakaripai really came to me after realizing that after all these years, the problems I had when I started to go into professionally into music, the problems I had are still around. That youngsters have no way to showcase what they can do best, and parents don't appreciate their own children and what they want and what they are. They promote what they want them to be than what they are.
His children also seem to be taking after their father musically, with Sam Tuku emerging as a talented musician in his own right, and his sister Selma also holding her own in music circles.
I thought my first two daughters, Shupi and Shami, were going to be musicians, but right now they don't even come close to me. They don't even get into my studio. They don't talk about music. They're just out. And the younger ones, who I thought were not really into music, they both have their own groups. They play in their own groups. They do their own things musically. So I'm not saying parents should force their children to be who they are. No, they should study their children, and study and appreciate who they are more than imposing what we want them to be.
Mutuku is married to Daisy, and the couple has 4 children and 2 grandchildren.
Well, it's coming as a surprise, but well, I feel honored, I feel proud, I feel worthwhile to be on earth.